Hey guys, welcome to the Waiters Academy live stream. Today it's 1:30 after midnight here in Europe. Today video is going to be about finding a job in Las Vegas that will make you $1,000 a day. I'm going to tell you some of my story, what I did when I went to Vegas. Of course, that was, 17, 19 years ago, but still valuable lessons. You can, of course, not just go to Vegas. There are in the States a lot of places, not a lot, but some towns that you can go and work and make $1,000 a day. Of course, don't ever think that making $1,000 a day is just like that. It doesn't happen like that. It's those jobs are really hard to get, and of course it's a lot of work till you get to the $1,000. So you can have it, you can do it, but it's not easy. It takes a lot of experience, a lot of work, a lot of hard work to get to this point. But it's possible. I did it. I know it's possible. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to move to Vegas and how to get a job that's going to bring you $1,000 a day. Like anything, anytime you move to a place, it's you start almost from the beginning, almost from the bottom of the chain. So you're gonna have to work your way up. But for example, when I moved to Vegas, I had no idea what Vegas is all about. I had no idea how to really find a job and how to do the things properly. So I went to Vegas and I started looking for the top jobs. I had some experience in Florida. I was working in a really fine dining restaurant in Florida. I thought that with the experience that I have on the cruise ship in Florida, I will be able to get a top job in Vegas. So what happened is I went to Bellagio, I went to Venetian. I'm just walking from one restaurant to another restaurant on the strip in Las Vegas and filling up applications and telling those people that I want to work there. They were pretty much laughing. They're laughing at me. So I met some other guys and I started asking questions and everybody was like, "Are you crazy, man? You can never work on the strip. You cannot come here in Vegas and find a job on the Las Vegas strip." Guys, I would like to get a confirmation that you can hear me and the connection is good. I see some people on the net. Can you give me a thumbs up or just say if you hear the voice and the all right, so listen, so Daniel Rivera, it's funny, but I mean that you're in the right place. Las Vegas is the right place, as long as you are able to stay out of trouble, man. Because Vegas is a lot of trouble. Hey, Deep, so how you doing, Deepan? Good morning. It's a morning in India. Okay, Fratzo, thank you very much. So you can hear me. So yes. I was going from a restaurant to restaurant in Las Vegas, and I was thinking that I can get a job just like I did it in as a busser. Okay, that's good. I mean, you have to start from somewhere, and there was no chance. There was no chance of getting a job in Las Vegas, especially on the strip. Everybody was telling me, in order to work on the strip, in order to get you as a worker here in my restaurant, you have to have Las Vegas strip experience. And I was like, okay, how can you get a Las Vegas strip experience if you don't give me a chance to get a job on the strip? And not possible. So I moved to Vegas. I had some money saved, and now, of course, I didn't forget you, Devin. Of course, I didn't, man. But you haven't been around for the last couple of live streams. I was running out of money, and there was no chance finding a job. I was going to restaurants like Aqua, like Renoir and Mirage, and like those people basically were laughing at me that I'm even trying to get a job there. So there was two choices in front of me: to get any job, whatever, or just go back to Florida and keep living in South Florida, Palm Beach. I decided that I'm gonna stick in Vegas and I'm gonna just get whatever job I can find. So I started looking for any job. I found a small hotel. It was a Holiday Inn away from the Las Vegas Strip. I started working there as a breakfast waiter. I was doing room service and breakfast, which is the most terrible thing that you can imagine. It was not far away from the dream I had, being in Vegas. But anyway, it was paying my rent. So here, like, how did I get the job that I was making $1,000 a day? So I started working at Holiday Inn, and I just kept learning, and I kept trying to get a better job. My chance and your best chance to get a job on the strip is when the new casinos open and they hire 10,000 new workers, okay? A lot of waiters. Every casino on the strip had a lot of restaurants, and they hire a lot of waiters, not just for the restaurants, but for the banquets and everything like that. So if you're new in town, your best chance is to get a job on Las Vegas Boulevard, on Las Vegas Strip, when the new casino opens. And when you're there and you apply for a job, don't apply for the jobs just in the new casinos. You apply for a job in the old casinos, because a lot of people that working, for example, right now in Bellagio or Steve Wynn, or in MGM or Venetian, when the new casino open, they go to the new casino and they apply for a job, a better job. And they leave those job position open so you can get a job in the old casinos, not just in the new casinos. But that's your biggest chance, because a lot of people are moving from one place to another place, and there are a lot of openings. Like I said, a big casino in Las Vegas employs 10,000 people. 10,000 people. So there's a chance, and that's your best chance. So if you're trying to move to Vegas, for example, make a research, see when it's the new casino open, go a couple of months prior to that, couple of months, I'll say 6 months, because they start hiring much earlier, and apply for a job, and you have a best chance to land any job. Don't look for the best jobs, because you're not going to get a best job in Vegas just like that. You apply for any job so you can stay in Vegas and you can work and you get the experience on Las Vegas Boulevard. So that's what I did. At this time, it was 2001, I think, or 2000. No, 2000. Yeah, 2000. And Aladdin opened. I had this little job in Holiday Inn, and Aladdin opened, and I landed a job at the Aladdin, the worst restaurant at the Aladdin. That was Fat Anthony restaurant, Italian restaurant, terrible concept, terrible management. That was a restaurant for one of the biggest restaurant companies in Las Vegas. They still operate in Las Vegas, a lot of restaurants. That's Arc Las Vegas. But the concept was terrible, and the management was the worst thing I ever had experienced. So when we started working, it was really bad. I worked like a month there, but now I'm working on Las Vegas Boulevard, and I have a job on the strip. Once you land this job, you can keep looking for a better job. Don't stop looking for a better job. You learn as much as possible on your current job, and you just keep looking for a better job. So one day I got really pissed off with those guys. It was terrible. We were making not much money, and it was crazy. No system, no organization, nothing. So I went to to the best restaurant at the Aladdin at this point, at the Desert Passage. And it was an Italian restaurant right across from Fat Anthony. And I went directly there. I went to the hostess and I told her, listen, I want to talk to the general manager. If you go to the restaurant and you just fill application, most of the time those guys just gonna take your application and throw it back in the garbage. Nobody's gonna call you. So try to talk directly to a manager so you can make an impression. Now, I went there, I told her I want to talk to the general manager, and she was like, who are you? Like, my name is Ned, and I want to talk to the general manager. Okay, she doesn't know me, she doesn't know who I am. I don't tell her that I'm looking for a job, I just tell her that I want to talk to the general manager. So come, 50 years old Italian guy, but, full with energy. Hey, what's going on? Who are you? I was like, listen, man, I'm working over there. I'm working for Fat Anthony, the restaurant across the street from you. But those guys are really bad. And I see that this place here is amazing and I want to work for you. If you give me a chance, I'm going to be your best waiter. In 3 months, I'm going to be your best waiter. So we start talking, he was like talking a little bit, small talk, I talk a bit, we laugh a bit. You make an impression to the guy, I'm smiling and I'm telling him I'm gonna be his best waiter. He's asking me where I've been and things like that. And this is your best chance to get a job. When you talk directly to the manager, to the people that make a decision, you have a chance. So the guy tells me, hey, listen, right now I don't need new people and things like that. And I was like, okay, I know you don't need people, we just opened like 2 weeks ago or a month ago, but every new restaurant, I open many restaurants and I know how it works. First of all, you hire a lot of people, you don't know if they could do a good job, you're gonna fire some of them and some of them will quit themselves. So you're gonna need people in the next days or weeks, and I'm telling you, I'm really good and I can do an amazing job. It's going to be good for the business. It's going to be, of course, good for me to work for you guys. So he was like, okay, don't worry about it. Give me an application and I will call you stop by next week and we'll see what can I give you. And that was it. I knew already I got the job. If they're not going to give you the job, he's not going to tell you come next week. No chance. He's going to tell you just file application and we call you if we need you. But to make a first impression, to make a really impression to the management is very important. So the guy, I stopped by next week and he was like, okay, I will give you a job. You're going to start working here at, there was a Lombardi's. But you're going to work lunch. Lunch, of course, it's also not the best job that you can get because lunch, you don't make that much money. You work lunch, it doesn't matter if it's a beautiful restaurant, whatever restaurant it is, and it's a busy, in lunch, people don't spend that much money and they don't tip that much. So you need a coffee service. I'm not much about coffee, man. I don't know much about coffee. I have a friend of mine that's working already 10 years as a manager at Starbucks. Maybe ask him to make a coffee. Okay. Kairatum, I don't understand. All product knowledge, please. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I started working as a lunch waiter at this restaurant. I wasn't making much money, but I see how much money make the evening shift, the dinner shift. And I worked like 40 days lunches. Finally, I was able to make them give me a dinner shift. Start working dinner shift, start making $200, $300, $400 a night. That's what the job was bringing, In a couple of months, they made me a head waiter. I go to the job at 6 o'clock in the evening. The restaurant closed at 10 o'clock. I work 4 hours. Then you have some side works and things like that. Let's say 5 hours at 11 o'clock, everything is finished. And I go home with $200, $300, $400 which was already amazing. For me, it was freaking great. But of course, I was I was trying to go even further, because I see when you're in Vegas, you see that there are jobs. Some people are making 1,000, some people are making $2,000 a night. There are jobs that you can really make a lot of money. So from here, okay, you want to know food on cruise. Every cruise has the different. If you work on a Greece, it's a Greek food. If you work in Italian cruise, it's Italian food. If you want a Spanish, Norwegian food, it's also. I mean, every cruise line has different. Different nationalities, different food. You cannot. I mean, that's not a question I can talk about, man. I haven't worked on many cruises. I work only 4 years on the same cruise line, and it's a Greek cruise line. I cannot tell you much about the food on the cruise. So once you get to this point that you are working for a nice restaurant and you are making really good money, then it's the time to start looking for the top job in Vegas. My chance was to land a job at the casino, and the job you can now, once you work in this restaurant, once you work in a strip and you get some couple of years experience, first of all, you make a lot of money. You have a lot of free time. You can learn. You can go to classes. You can learn wine. You can learn food, and so you can get some more knowledge and skills, and then the top restaurants, the fine dining restaurants, and the top hotels like Aqua, like Renoir, those places, they don't actually hire that much often, if they hire at all, and most of the time they don't hire waiters. Waiters in those places are staying there for many years, because once you get a job at Aqua, the Bellagio, you're making $1,000 a night. You make more than 1,000, much more than 1,000 sometimes, and you don't quit those kind of jobs. You have to really screw it up to get fired, or you can retire there. But for example, yes, well, the wine series is not much. I still have a lot videos to do about wine, but anyway, it's the basic. It's something that you can start with. What happened is I made connections. You get to know people that work on those places, and you try to get a job, to land a job there by being recommended. So I had a friend of mine who was working at Aqua, and he told me, hey, listen, we are looking for runners, no waiters, runners. And I was like, listen, man, I'm not a runner. I'm a waiter. I'm working nice place. I'm making a lot of money. If you can get me the job in Aqua as a server, as a waiter, I'm coming right away. But coming and working as a runner, it's not my thing. I'm not 18 years old. I was 30 years old at that time. So he got the job for a not a friend of mine, but so some dude that I knew, and he started working as a runner at Aqua. Listen, if you have a chance, don't make my mistake. If somebody tells you you can land a job at a place like Aqua, at the Bellagio, go get it. I don't care if you're the best freaking waiter in the world, and I don't care how much money you make. Those top jobs, those top restaurants, there's like 20 restaurants in the world that are really top. You have to make anything, whatever, to land a job at this place. So this guy goes over there and he started working as a runner. Just I don't remember, 3 months later or 4 months later, one of the waiters quit because of personal matters, and they gave this guy a job to wait tables at Aqua. And I have to tell you, I was kicking my ass. I'm a big time, big time. I missed a huge opportunity to work in the best restaurant in the freaking world. The best restaurant at this time in the whole world. Just because I didn't, my self-esteem was a little bit way too overboard, and I didn't want to start working at this place as a runner. So the guy start making $1,000 much earlier than me. But that's one way, you land a job at the most beautiful places, like the top fine dining restaurants at the top hotels in Vegas, and you're already making $1,000 a day. What I did is, my way was to land a job at the Venetian banquets. So okay, depend. You mean where is this hotel opening in Las Vegas right now? I don't think so. I never heard. I don't heard. You cannot, man. Unfortunately, you have to be in the United States. You have to either have a work permit or a green card or be American to land a job in Las Vegas. There is no European management. Where is this? Anyway, so one of the ways to get the top job is you start really small. You look for a better restaurant, for a better restaurant, for a better restaurant, and eventually you make a connection. You get to know some people around, and you get an offer to work for the top restaurants in Vegas. And there are a lot of top restaurants in Vegas. It's not like Aqua, it's not just Renoir, or it's not just Red Square. There are a lot of restaurants, especially right now. The town is way bigger than it used to be 20 years ago. There's a lot of top restaurants that you can work and make a lot of money. This is one way. What I did is, after I missed this opportunity to work for Aqua, I went and I got a job at Grand Lux Cafe at the Venetian. Now, your best chance to land a job in Las Vegas, for example, if you are in LA, if you're in Chicago or in Miami or whatever, and you want to go to Vegas and enjoy Vegas lifestyle, I suggest that you apply for a job at the Grand Lux Cafe or the Cheesecake Factory at the Caesar Palace. Listen, depend. Which hotel you're talking about, and where? In Las Vegas or some other place? Once you land a job at the Grand Lux, you go to a month of training, and then you go for 6 months at night shift. Okay, it's not easy. Grand Lux is a lot of freaking work. You don't make that much money. You make, let's say, $150, $200 a night once you get to the dinner shift. But the best advantage you get when you get to the Grand Lux at the Venetian is that you get the best training in the world, and second, you work in the best system in the world. Okay, so it's near you. Listen, you don't need to know nobody because you're not gonna shoot for the best job in this hotel. You go over there and you apply for any job. Just get any job in the place so you can get inside. Once you are inside, once you are working in this place, in 6 months, you work really hard, you make an impression, you show your bosses that you are really, really good, and then you go and you tell your boss, listen, man, I want to work in this restaurant because I can do a better job than anybody there, and I will help the company, and the guests will love me, and that's how it is. Okay, Cristiano, what do you want me to talk about? I'm not sure I understand, Feijo. So once you get to work for Grand Lux Cafe or the Cheesecake Factory, like I said, you get the best training in the world, you work for the best system in the world. And then once you get the job and you work like a year or 2 years for those restaurants, finding a top job in Las Vegas is not so hard because all those restaurants and all those hotels know that the waiters in Grand Lux Cafe are the best in the world. And once you go there and you tell them, hey, listen, I've been working 2 years for Grand Lux, and now I need to work for something more fancy. I want to work in a fine dining restaurant, or the best jobs in Las Vegas are banquet servers. For example, I was working for Grand Lux. I think I was working 3 years for Grand Lux Cafe. I was a head waiter. I was working the best shift, the best station. I was making good money, but my my goal was to land a job at the banquets at the Venetian, so you can really start working for $1,000 a day. When the opening came, they were looking for 20 positions for the waiters at the Venetian for the banquets. We were 2,000 waiters, 2,000 applications for those 20 positions. You go to the interview, those people see on your CV that you are working right now at the Grand Lux, and you have 10 times better chance to be one of those 20 waiters once they see that you are working at the Grand Lux Cafe. So what happened is I went to the interview. Of course, you have to impress those guys. You have to smile. You have to be confident. You have to be able to carry a big tray. You have to be able to tell them all the things that they need to, they ask a lot of questions. But once you go there and you tell them all the things that they want to hear, and they know that you are working already 2-3 years for Grand Lux, they give you the job. A lot of waiters from Grand Lux end up working for the Venetian banquets. And once you end up working for the Venetian banquets, or Mandalay banquets, or Bellagio banquets, or Wynn Resort banquets, you are already set up to make $1,000 a day. And don't get me wrong, it's not easy to go. You don't go for 4 hours and work at the Venetian banquets and make $1,000 a day. That's not happening. To make $1,000 a day as a banquet waiter, you gotta work breakfast, then you go for lunch, and then you go for dinner. You might end up working 13, 14, 15 hours, but at the end of the day, you know that you have made $1,000. You don't need to work every day 15 hours. You can work like I used to do it. I used to work like 3 days a week. And the rest of the days of the week, I go play golf, I go to the fitness, I enjoy my time, I go on vacation and things like that. So that's how it is. I would say that the easier way is to land a banquet job at some of the best hotels like Bellagio, Wynn Resort, Mandalay Bay, Venetian, and you start making those $1,000 a day. The other way to land a job at the fine dining restaurants like Aqua, Renoir, and many, many more, it's a little bit harder because those jobs are not, there is not so many openings at those places. Once you land a job at the Red Square, for example, at the Mandalay Bay, I mean, you don't give this job away because this job gives you a lot of money, and it's a fun place. You enjoy life. You don't give those jobs away. You stay there until you something happen in your life and you go away or something like that. But that's what it is. Pretty much that's all I want to say about Vegas. Like I said, it's not just Vegas. You know, those places like Miami. You know, if you go and work on South Beach, there's some amazing places that you make a lot of money. And plus, in Miami, you get automatic 18%. So that's really helps you make money. LA, of course, you can work in LA, some amazing places that you can really make a lot of money. And the same thing is in New York, Chicago. You know, those towns, they have really high-end clientele. They have a lot of rich people and a lot of fine dining restaurants that you can work and make. But of course, don't forget. Hey Tim, actually no, I went to San Diego a couple of times. I love San Diego. I mean the downtown in San Diego and the old town and Cordoba Beach. I mean I love San Diego. San Diego is amazing. But I never work in San Diego, man. San Diego, you know, when I get to Vegas and I start working in Vegas, for me Vegas was the best place to be because it's cheap. In San Diego, it's very expensive. In Vegas, 20 years ago, it was very cheap. I bought my first house for $180,000. In San Diego, try buying a house for $180,000. It was a fair 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 2 car garage, huge yard for $180,000. San Diego, man, you can never buy nothing like that. Life was cheap. I mean, now they tell me it's not so cheap, but I mean that life was really cheap in Vegas, and you make a lot of money, and it's very nice living. Yes, exactly. It's very expensive, man. How's the how's the training going? Are you already good? Are you already working as a head waiter? So that's it, guys. Um, Next week is the video that it's gonna be the first. Okay, good. Good luck, buddy. Uh, Kill them with kindness, you know. Next week is gonna be the first video about Indian, Nepal, Philippines, Indonesia, guys. How to land a job in Dubai. Not just Dubai, but in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, those places. Um, because this is the best opportunity for you guys to get away from India, start working really good jobs, learning a lot. All right. What okay, Ivan, what a new job, man. Anton Donchev. Антон Дончев. А, Къде работиш в момента, Антоне? Защото ако искаш да намериш работа за бъсбой, няма никакъв проблем. Пиши ми на съобщение на видеото после и ще обсъдим въпроса. Предполагам, че мога да ти помогна. Okay, okay, Ivan, you got the job, man. Okay, I understand. Okay, that's beautiful. You got the job at the new place that you went for the interview, right, Ivan? I think that's what you're talking about now. Exactly. Okay, yes, that's what you told me. All right, man, baby. I'm glad. Listen, man, that's the most beautiful thing. Now, guys, now you coming back to me and you're telling me a good news. Everybody landing a new job. Everybody is doing good. I mean, beautiful. Make my life fucking crazy. I mean, I enjoy that. I mean, I hope All those videos have been a little bit of help and helps you better job. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it is. You learn, you work hard, you get a better job, you get a better life, and it's a beautiful life, man. I don't care whatever anybody says. Working as a waiter can be a beautiful life. I love it. I mean, I'm loving it. My life is beautiful. I'm not changing it with nobody else. But yes. All right, guys. It's 2 o'clock in the morning here in Bulgaria, so I guess that's good enough for today. Like I said, next week video is going to be about all those guys from India and Nepal and finding a job in Dubai. And yes, I'm gonna do a five videos about the East. It's gonna be Dubai, it's gonna be Singapore, it's gonna be Canada and Australia. So stay tuned. Do me a favor, like those videos, share those videos with your friends or on Facebook or whatever. It helps me, helps the channel, and so I get some motivation to keep doing it, and hopefully we can help a lot of other people do as good as you're doing right now, guys. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Ivan. So, thanks a lot. Take care. Stay out of trouble, man. Listen, Vegas is a beautiful place to be. You can make a lot of money and you can have a lot of fun. But you can get into a lot of trouble in Vegas because it's a sin city. It's a sin city. Maybe I'll tell you one of my stories or many of my stories going further. All right, guys. Thank you very much for being here. Go ahead, go get those jobs, those good jobs, and make a lot of money and enjoy life, huh? Because we work hard and we have to enjoy life. It's not about making money and not enjoying. You have to make money and you have to enjoy life. That's what it is. Take care. We'll see you again. I'm gonna do a couple of lives next week. Not gonna be so empty. I'm gonna do videos and live. All right. You're welcome, Anton. And like I said, write me on message и ще си поговорим за какво мога да направя за тебе за Vegas. Айде. Ciao, guys. Thank you.